G'day, you legends. Welcome back. Mezs Motorsport Monday is monthly on a Tuesday, just whenever the fuck we feel like it, really. Definitely wanted to try get one out before I went over to the US, the United States of America. That's what I would have liked to have got done. But yeah, we didn't. Turns out being super fucking flat out and I'm a one-man band. So yeah, there's that one. But we're making it up for it. This is probably going to be one of the longest podcast we've done just because there's so much to get through and so much to talk about. That's on the drift side, we'll get to Final Bout. We'll talk about that. There's been World Time Attack just happened on the weekend. But prior to that, I already had some dabblings I wanted to dabble into. So, yeah, let's get into it, hey? I didn't fucking organise this in a way that makes sense, so I'll just quickly do that now. All right, so let's start off with a few, there was a few comments, what did I think of the James Dean and Matt Field contact that happened in Seattle? Obviously now that another round's been fucking run and James Dean has won. But regarding the James Dean contact with Matt Field, heaps of people saying Matt Field's a pussy, backing off and whatnot. The outside footage doesn't look too great in his favour, but you watch his in-car. Matt Field posted up a in-car run from it, and yeah, fucking Dean hits him. The wheel fucking gets ripped out of his hands. He washes out wide deep, so now he's off track, offline. At that stage, there's absolutely no point him just staying into it and coming back off track. He's already way offline. So if he comes back on track, there's a chance he's going to hit Dean because Dean's come through. And yeah, so the best case scenario in that measure is just to pull out and abort the run. So, yeah, I didn't think that was him playing games whatsoever. I didn't watch every single run of his to see where he was slowing down and stuff, but fuck, it's the top end of competition drifting in that angle that they like. Of course, people are going to be playing games. I'm sure every single fucking driver there does something just to try phase the competitor a little bit. I mean, we don't like to think that, but, it's such a high stakes, high pressure stuff. Whether it's just slightly lifting, whether it's, just jumping a little bit here and there, like there's games to be played. It's motorsport. So yeah, I thought that contact, completely all kosher. I fully get why Matt aborted the run. And yeah, as I said, watch the in-car. You're going to see exactly what happens. So that was that one. And on that note, it just fucking the whole James Dean, because you also had Piotr win a Drift Masters round recently. They're just about to head to Poland. It's crazy that it's been 8 years since Piotr and James went and attacked FD in those Wirthouse drift cars. For the life of me, that feels like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It's fucking insane how quick time's flying. Just a sure measure, just a surefire reason for everyone to just start being present because time will zip past you like that. And also that a lot of shit doesn't matter. You guys give way too much energy to fucking shit. So that was kind of that fucking note. That was more on the international flair. What's been happening here in Australia? And I kind of wanted to fucking talk about, what are we doing with drifting here in Australia right now? Because every now and then I catch a bit of wind of what someone said or, I'm talking to someone and, they're making these suggestions about what Australian drifting needs, what we need to be doing, we need a series like this. And the amount of times in my head, I'm just like, this person is so fucking far from reality, it's not funny. And usually in those types of convos, I'll make a quick quip. If I'm feeling a bit spicy, I'll throw something out there just to fuck up their rhythm. Or I'll just be quiet and let them speak because there's no point. There's no point. It's the way some people are so fucking head in the sand with their mindsets. So I kind of wanted to just sort of fucking lay it down. Here's exactly what's going on in Australian drifting. Here's what Australian drifting needs. Now, again, this is my opinion, but fuck, my opinion's pretty fucking well-versed. That's not ego. That's just me being confident that I have put myself in enough various positions within Australian drifting to realise what the fuck is actually going on. Okay, 1, no one's fucking making money. All right, now let me put a little asterisk on this. There are people making money, but it's not the fucking image that you're getting portrayed like with FD. USA, that is, not fucking FD Japan. It's no one's getting the fucking sponsorship dollars to fucking fund a full program, you know, or to even to the point where they're getting paid and that's their job. Every single person you see that has a high-end car that has sponsors, they're getting sponsors, but they're putting fucking shitloads in off their own back, whether it be them or their parents that are extremely rich. You know, there's no fucking career here for that traditional drifting mindset of, yep, I get the sponsors, I compete, I do this. So when you see all these fucking nonces thanking their fucking sponsors and doing all that, like, they're doing it because they're fucking mates that have helped out. And yeah, they've chucked them some money their way, but fucking you need a fucking lot of money to fucking run a motorsport operation, even a drift one. You know, or they have gotten money out of that person. But like just one sponsor isn't funding your whole fucking campaign. And the ones with heaps of sponsors are just pulling something together. Just. So, with that in mind, we don't need a fucking full-blown pro-national series. So I've heard some shit on the grapevine like, oh yeah, fuck. So like obviously if you're a fan of these podcasts, you've watched them before, you'd know about Drift Collective. Drift Collective, for those who don't know, Drifting SA, South Australia, Keep It Reet, which is Victoria, and Drift League, which is Tasmania, each hold their own individual fucking round, and together, collectively, that makes it the Drift Collective. That's how we start spinning into this sort of national series. But it's more than that. It's like actually the mindset, the driver behavior. Every single driver at these Drift Collective events is fucking getting out when they're beaten and fucking cheering on the other driver. You know, they're shaking hands straight away. They're looking over at the driver, thumbs up. And yeah, they're fucking devoed they didn't win, but they're not carrying this fucking elite competition mindset that comes with the high stakes stuff. And usually the high stakes stuff embedded in insecurity. So again, I'm fucking going to get into that. We're sort of covering heaps of bases here, but we're talking Australian drifting. I want everyone to get the whole picture. So that, I believe, is the direction forward. I don't believe the competition route is the way to go in terms of the traditional elitist fucking, you put a minuscule footstep wrong, you're this, you know, we have a heavily regulated series. You know, exactly what FD is, I don't think we fucking need that. And I think it is counterintuitive into what drifting is. And I think that, you know, the direction we head in this way, you push it more in an extreme sports, competitive manner, that manner. One, it allows us to be freer with the sponsors because the sponsors aren't as rigid. And two, it shows exactly what drifting is, exactly what drifting's about. And that brings in the people because it's true. It's the actual fucking shit we love. And that's what we're promoting. So for so long, since the get-go, everyone's like, oh, everyone needs to be more professional. We need to fucking do this. We need to appeal to the general public. We need to appeal to the sponsors. And I get that. You do need to fucking be professional. You do need to appeal to sponsors. I don't fucking agree so much with appealing to the public because the general public's going to come regardless when it's good. So fucking don't appeal to them. They don't fucking know. Otherwise you end up with all these fucking fans in the comments that don't know shit. F1, you know? Any fucking comment section actually for motorsport. So many fucking idiots. But yeah, so we don't have the framework. We don't have the framework for a national competition, nor do we want it or need it. But there's still fucking idiots out there, egotistical fucking minded fucks that only give a shit about being the man or being seen as the man. They're like, yeah, we're going to run a big dog competition. Big dog tires, big dog this. No. One, we don't need it. Two, there's probably about 4 to 5 fucking drivers that can actually steer with semi-slicks and power in Australia. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise you're watching high tech all over again where fucking 3/4 of the field can barely string a lap together because they've got this over fucking spec'd car that they don't know how to drive. We don't fucking need that. All that is wasted money into the fucking performance shop's pockets. Okay? Which, again, we need to support those that support us. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying this is the sustainable measure this way. This is where we need to head. And everyone who thinks fucking, oh man, Australia needs a Formula Drift, or we need a D1 NZ type series, or we need some of, no, we fucking don't. Because we don't even have the framework for it. But even if we did, we don't want it. It's not true drifting. And, you know, what I saw at Drift Collective, it was a great sort of 50-50 mix. You know, it's that true drifting, but it's still fucking competitive and doing that. So, yeah, I personally think that's the direction to head down. And, yeah, like I said, in Australia, no one's fucking getting rich out of drifting. Okay, now let's put it into perspective. Event organisers, yes, they can make money. Half the time they fucking don't. Half the time they lose their ass. But, yep, they can have a solid weekend, and, yep, they're fucking looking very green, and the numbers are sick. It's not a sustainable thing. They're not hitting those numbers each time. 2, they've got to fucking pay for the whole brand and all the movement. You might fucking guess what I'm alluding to there. So pretty much my message to everyone in Australian drifting is chill the fuck out, realise what we got going on, realise shit takes time, and start pushing it towards that direction, all right? Shit doesn't happen overnight. Shit doesn't happen like this, but, you know, what I see is sort of like every state having sort of their series, shit growing. Halfway Hangs is fucking growing every fucking year, you know, and that's a bit of the grassroots side, but what I see is this fucking in-between where it's both. And, you know, Final Bout really fucking sort of tickle my pickle in that regards, which we'll talk about later when we finally get to that. But I just am so sick of hearing baseless comments about what Australian drifting needs or what's happening in Australian drift by people that fucking act like they're the fucking know-all, be-all, end-all guy. You know, if you're walking around the pits with your chest puffed out, telling everyone how sick an event organizer you are, how it was all your fucking effort and all your work, even though fucking someone else ran the day, yes, this is getting very fucking, wonder who he's talking about. But fuck, there's 10 of these cunts, you know? And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of fucking these people being in a position of power as well. I'm sick of fucking these people getting the call up from the tracks and from big businesses, and they're the fucking wrong person. Get me the fuck in there. You know, that's why I get a bit ranty, because I'm watching from the sidelines. I'm not the type of dude to fucking go up and suck someone's dick to get a call up. You know, I'd like to feel like my reputation precedes, and that fucking if you hit up Mezz, that's a dude that fucking keeps it logical, keeps it truthful, and knows what the fuck is going on to move the movement. Hopefully that explains what's going on in Australian drifting. But everyone just chill the fuck out. We're going to get there. What time do we reckon we're running at? Let me have a fucking gaze. Right, a little bit of a rant, but hey, it's fucking Mezs Motorsport. Let's fucking rant away. So, yeah, we're talking Australian drifting there, you know, and again, just to quickly, short, sharp point, there's no fucking money yet. There will be money in the future. And there's little bits of money here and there if you're crafty. But then you're just like bleeding from the system. So get it through your fucking heads. No one's getting the fucking pro deal. All these people that are like, and the way they word it, like, you know, I get you've got to fake it till you make it. But you're faking it till nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing, there's no light at the end of this Australian drift tunnel. Okay? All we've got is us. And in the future, once all the fucking shit goes, it'll still just be us. You know? Like sponsors come and go. You know, I've watched fucking, you know, 3 or 4 major tire companies come through. It was Toyo. Then it was Achilles 123s. And then Federal had a little fucking double here and there. And then you got fucking Zestino, Valino, fucking, there's always that fucking Wonder Boy tire that comes in, everyone gets their sponsorships, and everyone fucking, wow, this is the grippiest tire I've ever used. And yeah, like, I mean, all those tires I mentioned are, but do you know what I'm getting at here? The tire sponsor isn't the thing, but I'm like, don't think you're getting into drifting and you're going to work your way up through the shit. You're going to work your way through comps. You're going to work your way up. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have your whole ride paid for. Like, the amount of fucking oblivious people that think that's the reality is fucking wild. And they're listening to these fucking yes men that I previously spoke of. They're listening to these fucking people that their only fucking goal in drifting is to be known as the fucking man. And it's so painstakingly obvious to me. It's painstakingly obvious to me and my boys as well. And they're my boys because we all think alike, you know, which is fucking thinking outside the box, not seeing, you know, calling a spade, you know, not circle jerking each other. So, you know what, like, if you're fucking those people saying, oh, we need a high horsepower comp, We need fucking national. We need more regulations. We need all this. Fuck you. You're fucking wrong, and just do everyone a favor and fuck off out of drifting. And so this kind of leads into the next fucking shit. World Time Attack drifting. World Time Attack drifting. It was run and done on the weekend. I had the utmost, what was it? I had fucking grand plans to watch the drift event, and then I fell asleep. Someone was a little bit jet lagged. And then I awoke and, yeah, found out that they had to fucking shit can the event, the drifting side, because they ran out of time, which, as someone pointed out in a group chat, pretty fucking funny. Time Attack event running out of time. Every fucking year, World Time Attack does an awesome... Actually, let me just preface this. I have nothing but respect for Ian Baker and his whole crew. The World Time Attack event is fucking unreal. And I was lucky enough to be a part of it with MCA when they had the Hammerhead. I was filming them back in those days. And, you know, the whole event is fucking sick. It's an import fucking dream. It's an importer's wet dream. You know, there's so much cool shit going on. But, so I fucking full props to Ian Baker and that. Now, the vibe I get, Ian's like, I know we need drifting. I don't know much about drifting, so I'm going to get Dan Mackey. And Dan Mackey does his thing. And this isn't just on Dan Mackey, because it's fucking been fucking previous to him as well. But World Time Attack does a fucking good job each year convincing us the drifting's going to be different. For about fucking 10 years they've been doing that. And each year, every single one of us gets fucking disappointed with the show we're presented. Now, the track layout itself, it's shit. It should go back to SMP. I know they argue that the crowd fucking wasn't there and then the streaming stuff's too hard. I feel like the streaming wouldn't be that bad of an effort, and I feel like the crowd just need to know where to go, because I remember those couple of years and a bit of confusion. I think it's a way better atmosphere on the hill there. And yeah, so the track layout itself. 2, the drivers. You get this great mix of international drivers, you know, that Baker obviously pays to come out and bring their cars, and it's fucking sick that we get to see guys like Yokoi in their car, Daigo Saito, Nakamura, Mad Mike, of course, huge entertainer. So, you know, he does that part, and it's fucking unreal. But then it's like they fill it with fodder. And I don't mean no disrespect to anyone else driving that. There's a few fucking shredders in the mix that deserve to be there. But at World Time Attack, you can see this. At times, they're struggling for drivers with who they fucking get to drive and fill that comp. So by default, that comp isn't, to me, the prestige that everyone puts it to be. Because you've got these heavy hitter internationals and you got the fill-ins. Again, dude, Matt Harvey, Saxon Moyes, Alex Shaka, like fucking Brody, Ma, like I'm not shitting on my boys here. They're fucking good, solid drivers. But I'm talking about the whole fucking thing, you know? And it's not exactly everyone who deserves to be there is there. Because, of course, at the end of the day, this is a fucking money thing as well, yeah? It costs money to enter these events. So if you have the money, you can fucking do it. And we all know money doesn't equal skill. So there's that side. You know, that side has always left a lot to be fucking desired. And then, you know, there's just on the... So I can't obviously comment on how this most recent World Time Attack drifting went, apart from the fact that they couldn't run the final battle because they ran out of time. But I also hear they were running a Yeah, the Girls drift demo. I mean, if you just told them to cut back from 38 mungies down to 2, you probably could have fucking fit them in quicker. So we'll get fucking into that a bit later. But the actual drifting competition is like a fucking shell of what it should be. And from the sidelines, it's just like, sub me the fuck in. Sub me the fuck in and watch me fucking put on an absolute fucking display. Now, I fucking understand old Dan Mackey's got a lot on his plate. And again, as I said, it's not just fucking, you know, Dan Mackey's looking after the drifting now. He wasn't fucking, you know, previously, and the event was still the same manner. So there's some fundamental thing here that happens. But... you know, the event, when did I last go to a World Time Attack Challenge? I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, just as a spectator, which was fucking unreal. It's great to just be a part of an event and be a spectator now and then when you're so heavily involved. And there was no communication. We're sitting on the hill. I've got no fucking idea who won a run, who did that. And that's like the fucking baseline thing, is fill in your fucking crowd. Now, apparently the live stream had audio, but the crowd there didn't. So, you know, you've got this fucking massive government-backed event, and you're fucking faltering on the bare necessity of an event, which is communication to your spectators. It has always felt like drifting is just the fucking sideshow, and it gets treated as that. But there's a fucking strong reason Ian fucking spends that amount of money bringing out drifters. We do make up a strong crowd, and it goes back to the shit we don't know our fucking worth. So, you know, maybe people need to start voting with their feet. But each year they do a great job of fucking everyone forgetting the previous year, hyping it up. Everyone goes there all fucking excited, and we all leave fucking disappointed. So, yeah, there's a lot to be desired there. And, you know, I've probably just shot myself in the foot by fucking saying what I said on camera and putting it out there. Maybe Ian Baker's never calling me up, but fuck, would I love to get in the commentating booth? Would I love to fucking organise the drifting? Just have some part in that event to make it fucking better. Again, that's not fucking throwing shade on my boy Tony Bishop either. He does a great job, or Warren. Just fucking sub me in. I want to be a part of it. I want it all. I want nothing but the best for Australian drifting. And I feel like it's fucking obvious, but these ego operators, which is funny because I've had people say I've got an ego, and yeah, and naturally everyone should have an ego. It's like it's how you tame it, but a lot of those people that say I have an ego are fucking not confident people. So when you are confident, that's what they see it. Yeah, little side story there. But the point of the matter is there's a lot to be desired, and there always has been. So yeah, Australian drifting. Let's stop lying to each other. Let's stop calling it a space. Sorry. Australian drifting. Let's call it what it is. Okay? I'm sick of all the fucking saving face. Yeah, man, killer event, dude. Killer fucking event. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a killer event. Okay? Fucking great work, dude. Fucking... it's just all fucking noise, man. And the world's getting very fucking stereotypical, and just... We're accepting shit. And tenfold on that, we're accepting shit and allowing people to tell us it's great, and you can't call it out. So that wasn't just a World Time Attack thing. I think I'm still dabbling on that event organizer that thinks we need a fucking national series. All right, let's fucking get into some shit. All right, maybe what you're here for, maybe what you wanted to hear. Final Bout, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking hell, was it unreal. Unreal, surreal, very real. Firstly, a huge thanks to Simba and the Final Bout team. I've never had such hospitality. It's fucking unreal. Simba made sure we were fed each day, and you know, it was just really fucking sick to be a part of and commentate. I commentate alongside Palmer Sanderson, Good as Cast, Animal Style operator, and Jimmy Yates. Knuckles Up, Texas, and those two dudes are fucking tall. People call me tall. Nah, fucking, I'm a gnome compared to those dudes. Two, it was just so great. Just commentating with like-minded dudes. You can bounce back and forth, and it's fucking great. And three, I can't believe the American crowd accepted me. Yeah, I honestly thought people would be like, what's he saying? At times, they probably were. But it was just such an awesome feeling. And yeah, just had a lot of people come up and give us feedback that they enjoyed the commentating. And that fucking means a lot. It means a lot. I had a very fucking full circle moment. So I mean, I've been at this shit for fucking a long time, yeah? Like since 2008, 2009. You know, I've been charging. And all I've ever wanted is to just fucking push the right drifting movement forward, and pitch in where I can when I'm not driving. You know, driving for me is the number one. I'd love to be paid to go driving. If I can't do that, I'd love to commentate. I love to take photos and videos. I like organizing events that are sick, that people are going to love. And so I had a very sort of full circle moment, you know. I've been fucking charging hard on this shit for a long time. I don't fucking, like, you know, the money I make gets fucking put straight back in. I'm not living a high fucking lifestyle, despite what people think. How are you affording going over to Belgium and then Chicago? I didn't. Like, I'm fucking extremely lucky and thankful. And yeah, so side note, if you don't know, I can play piano. All right. Now they're just toting their ego. I can play piano, and fucking I had some lessons when I was a kid, but then as I got older, you just sort of teach yourself songs and stuff. And so like when you're a kid doing piano lessons, it's fucking like, you know, like they're songs, but they're not fucking the songs we listen to on the radio. And one of the first fucking songs I listened to on the one of the first radio sort of spec songs that I had learned to play was Coldplay Clocks. Fucking classic banger. And anyway, fucking, I'm sitting there in Chicago after Final Bout, after I just got fleeced at the breakfast buffet. I thought it was free. It wasn't. And I'm looking out at the Chicago skyline, which is already a very fucking hypnotizing, magical thing. And then fucking over the fucking speakers, Coldplay Clocks plays. And I already told you earlier, podcast, like I'm a big believer in the energy you bring in, and it's transferable and it's all that. If you don't, and you have like an engineering science thing, well then, you know, energy doesn't die, potential kinetic, like fucking just put two and two together, brother. Join us. But yeah, the Coldplay Clocks came on and I fucking almost teared up. It was just a very like, fuck yes, like we're on the right path, and I've fucking put in so much work, so much effort. And when I say so much work, it's not like I'm fucking here slaving away. I need to be slaving away more. But I just mean, like, I haven't stopped showing up. Even when fucking shit blows up in front of my face, you know, people fucking that you thought were good friends turn out to stab you in the back and treat you like shit. Like, shit like that. Like, I fucking didn't falter. I didn't stop. I just kept going. You know, fucking had people, I've had, like, you know, I've watched them. You know, they fucking hear some shit about me, stop liking posts. Which, you know, like people are like, oh, I didn't like posts. Like, we're living in a fucking digital age. You can tell a lot. You know, and then they come back and they're on your dick again. You know, like, that fucking affects people tenfold. But, we just kept trooping. We just kept fucking trooping, and yeah. So anyway, that was all that fucking build up and that emotion, and it was just fucking, fuck me. I can't believe I just commentated Final Bout, and like, yeah, it was just like, fuck yeah, this is sick. So, on that note, I just want to fucking thank you, every single one of you that watches, supports, fucking likes, subscribes, buys merch, fucking messages us. You know, I fucking appreciate the support, and we're fucking doing it. I ain't stopping. I'm a lifer for this shit. I'm fucking here for life. And I'm fucking ain't stopping, you know, and yeah, so we'll get where we want. So, with that little fucking emotional fellatio aside, Final Bout. Fucking unreal event. So the easiest thing to equate for us Australians, Kiwis, would be halfway hangs. You know, it's a similar sort of car style, car vibe. So you start out and was it the Wednesday? Yes, the Wednesday. So the Wednesday, we were hanging out at TF Works, at TF, Togo Factory. The boys were getting their cars ready. Kess and the C's boys getting their cars ready, hanging out. And then that afternoon and night, you cruise to this car park. And fuck, we met up at this gas station. We cruised out from the hotel. There was 6 of us. It was like fucking... And we were heavy hitters. So I jumped in with Martino. It was fucking Jimmy Yates, fucking Hurt, and he's fucking GS, rolling deep. Lee from Proceed. We're all cruising out. So there was like 6 of us cruising, and that felt cool. Then we rocked up at this service station, or a gas station, and then there was about 20 or 30 other cars. That would be in one of the posts I fucking posted up. And I was like, this is fucking insane. This is cool. And we're cruising from the gas station to then the car park meetup. And then, fuck, that just blew my mind. Imagine, like, a fucking Bunnings car park's worth, like, the whole thing, not just filling out the front and a couple aisles, full of fucking fairly sick rigs. There was a couple questionable ones in there, but for the most part, fairly sick rigs. It was off the charts. So then you cruise and fang through, and then you leave that car park, and there was a party at the Grid Life warehouse. So we went there, and fucking cops rocked up. And they only rocked up because there was a traffic chaos, because there was so many cars, not so much because of the cars. But while they were there, I think they started defecting cars for no license plates or something. Like, I don't know, but it wasn't like Australia where they started fucking bending people over, but they were a bit shit. But the main reason was because there was traffic coming in. So that was fucking insane. It felt like you were in Fast and Furious. The next day, we all met up at, is it Pequod's Chicago Pizza? I don't know if I pronounced that right. But yeah, everyone goes and meets up there. We all had deep dish pizza, which was pretty damn tasty. Not as doughy as I thought. And yeah, it's just a fucking cool vibe, cool meetup. So, you know, and then that's a Thursday, and then we cruised out to the track. Friday, you set up. Saturday and Sunday is the drifting. So, you know, halfway hangings is kind of different because, you know, this is like leading up, and you got multiple nights of lead up shit happen. Halfway hangings, everyone meets up at the service station, and we all drive down, and you got the car show Friday, drifting Saturday and Sunday, and it's kind of all in the one location, which is sick. It's its own fucking thing. But yeah, we also don't fang fucking 60 cars deep on the highway fucking chirping and doing all sorts of naughty stuff. So the cops over there, a little bit fucking nicer. Well, I didn't even see him while we were fanging 4 deep, but yeah. So that was the pre-meetup, you know, which is just, fuck, it was just a vibe the whole time. And you're just on cloud nine because you're like, wow. And seeing cars that you've followed on Instagram for 10 years, like Simba's S13, Josh's 180, you know, like, it was just so fucking sick. Very surreal. And then the event. So if you don't know, Final Bout is, you know, they incorporate the show and the fucking drifting side. It's a teams event, this one. So teams qualify at different events throughout the year to get to this main event. And yeah, so to get into the drifting, your car gets judged. So there's 3 judges, and it fucking literally takes them all day. Like, they start at like 11, and I think they finished C's Garage Boys at like 9 p.m. So like they're fucking methodical and very thorough, these judges. And so, yeah, they're just fucking judging the car's appearance, engine bay, presentation, the whole fucking thing. And you get a score from this. Now, the top 8, I want to say, the top 8 teams that scored in that then go through to the team drifting the next day. Now, what does this do? In case you're thinking like, oh, fucking, it makes the fucking cars look sick that get into the drifting. And don't fucking be fooled, on the drifting side, it was serious biz. So, you know, all I can think of is happy feeling. Shout outs, Nat. But it's good feeling, I want to say. Good feeling. They were like these vibrant Starburst team. They were charging. Front Street Drift Club. They fucking had the win in the bag before they ruined it on the last corner, last lap. And then C's Garage, you know. Yeah. So fucking, you're talking some serious tough driving, and combined with the show element, seriously sick-looking cars. Yeah, so that was unreal to have. As I said, Front Street Boys were throwing down very hard, and they would have had it in the bag. It got sent to a rerun against C's Garage, but yeah, unfortunately, a little bit of at the end there. And to see C's Garage take it out. So they won the show. They were the best in show. They won the teams comp, best in teams. Adam won the solo comp the next day, which, by the way, the next day on the Sunday, they have a solo comp. So teams choose one of their drivers, their best driver, to duke it out, and, you know, it's a top 8 from that. Fucking unreal. C's Garage and Cascade to fucking just get there is a thing, and then to fucking win it, like, it was just so perfect. Like, it was a perfect Hollywood storyline, and it was a very inspiring thing, and everyone, I gotta say this, and this fucking ties back into Australian drifting. I knew I wasn't done with the Australian drifting. Everyone there is so fucking, and this is just a general American thing, like, fucking supportive of each other, and like, it's cool to not take it seriously, but take it more serious than we would as Australians. Like put in the effort, put in the presentation. Like, like the Front Street Boys, like, fuck, we can't come second again this year. Like, and, us Australians would be the same, but there'd be so much shit talking. And don't get me wrong, there's like, that's not the shit talking I'm talking about. Like sort of I don't know if you guys followed the stuff, but there was a bit of sort of like rap beef battle spec teams calling each other out beforehand. I'm fucking all for that. No, like the shit talking I'm talking about is like the fucking toxic shit, like talking shit on, like shitting on stuff. So just dipping out a Final Bout for a quick second and just to talk about this, like when we talk this with Americans a bit, the C's Garage boys and I, and it's tall poppy syndrome. It's something we have here in Australia and New Zealand. And, a tall poppy, if one sort of rises out of the fucking bush like that, the rest fucking bring it back down. So that's exactly what happens here in Australia. As soon as someone gets a bit of fucking success or someone gets a bit of fucking, they do start putting in a bit more work and, shit starts following for them. Boom. Up comes the shit talk. People won't support you as much. People take a step back from supporting, and you don't get that in America. And it's funny because Americans don't need it. They have 360 million people. They have enough people to fucking bring each other up. Us Australians and New Zealanders, what have we got? Like fucking, what have we got? 22 million? They got 26. We got 26 million people combined. And we do nothing but just tear each other down. That's not to say that shit cunts don't need calling out. There's plenty of shit people that would hide behind that guys and be like, oh, stop pulling me down. Usually they're the ones that like, I fucking love haters. All my haters. So many haters. No, you're just an ignorant piece of shit. But like the right people, people get jealous. I think that's what it is. Insecurity and jealousy in Australia. Because I was talking about that with, some of the Americans. It's just, they must grow up very sure of themselves about who they are, what they're representing, and just sort of like, and they're proud about it kind of thing. Whereas Australians, we don't really have that identity that we fucking align with. So, people are hodgy-podge and they'll fucking flip on you from the get-go. Like, I'm sure people that I consider great mates have fucking spoken absolute fucking diatribe against me, You find yourself, people like getting involved in these conversations. So, like, the best thing to do in this shit is just step back. So, I just really, I don't know how to fully explain that. Maybe I need to take some time and write some words. I am trying to write a book just to talk about all this shit. Because I feel like no one else is writing like that, or at least in a way that the layman person can understand. It's just, it leaves a lot to be desired. And, you go to America and it just felt right. It felt fucking right. Everyone's boosting each other up. Everyone's fucking hyped. And at Halfway Hangs, you walk around and it's people still hype this fucking, and this isn't nothing on Street Carnage, Halfway Hangs and shit, but it's more the broader fucking shit. Like, I was sitting at a table one morning at Halfway Hangs overhearing a conversation between the young blokes, and like they're just ragging on cunts. And like, I remember being part of that conversation when I was a young bloke, and it's just, it's shit. It's not to say I don't think Americans aren't shitting on each other or doing that. It's just, there's this fucking different gear in their fucking mentality, and that's something we need. Yeah. So, yeah, fucking sorry about that. Skipping back to Final Bout, fucking unreal. I highly suggest everyone to go there. It was such a great experience. And US Air, a lot more dippier and elevated than you think. So fucking cool. I got to go for a passenger lap with Adam. One, he's an absolute steerer to boot. And two, it was just a really fun track. So nothing like jumping passenger to make you really fucking wish you had your car there. Yeah, so yeah, I fucking am very in love with drifting right now. What Final Bout are doing, that's what I see drifting as in its fullest form. It was the most drift event I've ever fucking been to. It was just done so right and so well. Simba and his team did wonders. The crowd was fucking rad. The crowd was so heavily involved. I did some crowd work, like, hey, who do you support and stuff? And everyone's like opinions, like some of them just blindly supporting their boys, but like everyone's opinions, you're like, no, you're actually into this shit. You know, unlike people's opinions on fucking Oscar Piastri having to give up position to Lando after Lando's pit stop got botched. No, it's just fair. No, it's fucking not. No, it's fucking not. They fucked up Lando's pit stop. That's on fucking them. It's not fucking fair to switch them back around, and it's not fucking motorsport. Yeah, so fully pumped on America. They cop a lot of fucking flack with the whole gun shootings, school shootings, the whole no healthcare, that bullshit. But if you just come in as a fucking foreigner and experience all that, it was fucking unreal. And I kind of wish, like, part of me wishes like I lived over there, because it does feel like a land of opportunity. And everyone is fairly fucking easygoing. Like, I had a fucking great time with all my new friends that we met, old friends I've been online with. It was just a friendly type of occurrence. Even just the randoms I had to deal with in public. Gallivanting my way around Chicago. You see some, you take some, sugar. I had this lady at Target had to ID me for beer, and she's like, Australia. Wow, what part of Europe's that in? So it was good to get a fucking cliche in there. But yeah, I fucking had the best fucking time. And again, so thankful to Simba, the whole Final Bout crew, Palmer Sanderson for putting in the fucking good word and getting us there. And the whole of Final Bout, just for accepting me and making me feel very welcome. And all right, let's check the time. Let's go again. Well, I suppose, that kind of rounds me out about that. Let's quickly suss some motorsport. One, fucking before we recorded this about 3 weeks ago, I had in my notes, Will Power contract. Everyone saw that coming, that Penske was not going to fucking renew Will Power's contract. I think that's a kick in the face, seeing as he's been their best driver, but he is also their oldest. So they probably want to try secure someone younger. And it's just one of those topsy-turvy things. So I'm glad Andretti picked up Will Power. Connor Zilch coming back on the track and hitting SVG. Everyone's saying SVG had to move over. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Race fucking... What sort of fucking motorsport driver are you, you know, where that's on Shane? But they maybe race different over there. Seemed fucking whack to me. Either way, Shane's in the playoffs, and the first 2 rounds have been fucking woeful for him, so that sucks. I think the first round was kind of on him. That second round looked a bit like not his fault. Just wavering there, but fuck, you wish him to go well. So hopefully this third race, he can secure enough points to get through to that next one and do something special there. It'd just be really cool. And I'd just love to see a bunch of people get their fucking dicks in a knot. That's pretty much on that one. Just want to round out again, you know, I hope everyone's well, and if you're not well, just know you're going to fucking get through it, because nothing lasts, and you got to keep showing up. All you can do is show up and keep going. But one thing I love, like, and I've been so fucking lucky enough, you know, traveling around the world, we're all the fucking same. We have our little fucking quirks of differences, like, you know, I call it a gazebo, they call it an easy up. Hey, Todd, could you put the easy up? You know, but like, in the heart, in the mind, like, a lot of us, we're all the fucking same, and it's through the mutual love of drifting and motorsport that, you know, you can start to see this stuff. So a lot of you that I follow, that I'm friends with on Facebook, I see on Instagram, stop complaining about world politics. Stop fucking getting yourself in a tiz. Yes, it's so important to realize what's going on here. But you only need to realize what's going on structurally. You know, you don't need to fucking keep up to date with every surface fucking thing that arises. You know, otherwise you're just constantly riding this high. And I feel the need to mention shit like this because Americans they cop a bad rap. They cop a bad rap. But fuck, man, that is the land of the free. I turned right on a red. Can't do that here in Australia. They tried to introduce it. Didn't fucking happen. I can turn right on a red because they fucking go, hey, he's got a fucking head. He's got eyes. We gave him a license. Let it fucking rip. It's the same over in Belgium. You know, I met assholes over there. I met good people too. And maybe those people were just assholes because I didn't speak their language. And I just assumed they'd speak English. That's an asshole thing on me. You know, everyone just chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out with your thoughts on the world and the generalizations, you know? The generalizations. So, and that comes back to our Australian drifting. Stop generalizing. We don't fucking need this. Australian drifting's in this perfect spot where we're just about to fucking start cooking. We've finally got the ingredients. We got the ingredients. We're about to fucking put it together and bake us a cake. All right? So don't try to rush that process. You're going to fucking fuck the cake up. All right? So don't fuck the cake up. All right, legends. Let us know your thoughts. That one I fucking bounced left, right, and center. I had so much to talk about, and I feel like I'm going to edit this and be like, fuck, I didn't mention that. But hey, that's what this bad boy's for. We'll add it to the notes. We'll go again. Love many, trust few, power your own canoe.
Because real bad boys move in silence.